What's up, YouTube? It's Reggie, and today I have work, and then I have church after that, and then I'm gonna get home, finish washing all my clothes, pack because I leave tomorrow night for Vegas, and then have to try out the 30th. But that whole every single day of that week, I'm gonna be vlogging. I'm gonna do a day in the lives every single day, so y'all can see a sneak peek into my life and what I'm doing and stuff like that, because I think that would be cool. They might not be super long videos, but I just want to show y'all like a bit of my life as far, and then I might make it into one big vlog too. We'll see. But because I got limited storage, you know what I'm saying? I ain't signed yet, you know what I'm saying? Once I sign, then I can start making them longer videos because I'm gonna have enough camera space to just be like, oh yeah, don't even trip. But right now, balling on the budget, you feel me? But let's get into the word. It says, first I finished Second Samuel 2. Once I start reading these stories, I just been wanting to just finish them, so I've been reading them until I finish. But right now I'm on First Kings, verse 3. So let's get into that. It says, in league with Pharaoh, and Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her into the city of David until he had made a house of building there his own house, in the house of the Lord and the wall of Jerusalem around about. Only the people sacrificed in high places, because there was no house built unto the name of the Lord until those days. And Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of David his father. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. My contact level? Oh, it's just a light. Okay, because I'm like looking at it and it's kind of looking trippy. Okay. Yeah, let me hold it like this so I can actually read it easier. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for there was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer unto the altar. Nah, it's my contact. It was like pulling out. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, that was definitely my contact. In Gibeon, that Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, ask what I shall give thee. Solomon asked for wisdom, and Solomon said, thou shalt hast shewed unto thy servant David my father great mercy, according as he had walked before thee in truth, and in righteousness, and uprightness of heart with thee, and thou hast kept him for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne as it is this day. And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made it thy servant instead of David my father, and I am but a little child. I know not how to go out and come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered or nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, and that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon asked this thing. And God said unto him, because thou hast asked for this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked for riches for thyself, nor asked for the life of thy enemies, or hast thou asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like thee unto thee. Also I have given thee which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so there will be not any among the kings like thee on all thy days. And thou wilt walk in my ways, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as thy father David did walk. Then I will lengthen thy days. And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And he came to Jerusalem and stood before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and offered up burnt. Oh no, my nose. I had to get that. Okay. And then the speaker notes read, Some suggest that brides and political marriages, such as one between Solomon and the Pharaoh's daughter, conducted the business that in modern times is conducted by ambassadors. Therefore, Solomon's granting his foreign wives and the representative of his government the right to worship their own gods while in Israel on the human level are diplomatic contraries. But the Lord regarded such courtesies towards false gods as apostasy. This was Solomon's first ever recorded example of conflict between prudent politics and faithfulness to the Lord. The worship at high places or hilltop altars might have been of three sorts. In the local worship of the Lord before any formal recognition of a national shrine. The legal worship of the Lord at such shrines after the recognition of the national shrine, and the syncretic worship of local balls at a local shrine. Gibeon was the last of the pre-temple national shrines. It was located about 6 miles north of Jerusalem. The Hebrews acknowledged its holy status when the tabernacle and the bronze altar were put there. Mercy or kindness almost always refers to covenant and faithfulness. David was faithful in his obedience to God. God was with him in turn faithful in keeping and giving him his covenant. In giving and keeping his covenant promises to David. Solomon's prayer marked a major cultural shift in Hebrew life, a shift towards peaceful values involving wisdom and skill rather than military craft. Solomon reflected these new values in asking a heart that would be understanding of the covenant and judging the nation. Solomon's request was a request of discern. Solomon celebrated this oracle with a great sacrificial feast of peace offerings for all his servants, perhaps for all the residential palace staff. And it says, offering and offered peace offerings and made a feast to all servants, a dead and living child. Then came 2 women that were harlots unto the king and stood before him. And the woman said, O my lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass the 3rd day after I was delivered that this woman was delivered also, and we were together. There were no strangers with us in the house, save we 2 in the house. And this woman child died in the night, and because she overlaid it, and she arose at midnight and took her son, my son, bro. I need to switch these contexts. I'm about to switch my context after this video. And this woman's child died in the night because she overlaid it, and she arose at midnight and took my son beside me, while thy handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. When I arose in the morning and gave my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I considered in the morning, behold, it was not my son, which I did bear. And the woman said, Nay, but the son, living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, No, but the dead is my son, is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Solomon's wise decision. Then said the king, the one saith, This is my son that liveth, and thy son is the dead. And the other saith, Nay, but the son is dead, and my son is the living. And the king said, Bring me a sword, and brought a sword before the king. And the king said, Divide the living in 2, and give half to one and half to the other. Then spake the woman whose living child was unto the king, and for her bowing upon her son. And she said, O Lord, give her the living child, and in no way slay it. But the other said, Let it neither be mine or thine, but divide it. And the king answered, said, Give her the living child, and in no way slay it. She is the mother thereof. And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king. For they saw the wisdom of God was in him to do judgment. And then the speaker notes say, Then verse 16 marks the connection to the previous dream that Solomon had. He had asked for the ability to discern so he could judge God's people. God answered his prayers and gave him more than he asked. This passage is an example of the use of God-given discerning mind. Azariah, oh no, that's the next chapter. So that's in the speaker notes and in the chapter. So how I decipher that one is, let me do this. Yeah, I need to, guess I had a rape or something. Just take out both, I just got a new content. But, so I don't have the context in there now, but I can see this close. Okay. But how I decipher that is one, Solomon asked for wisdom from God to be able to discern and judge, like discern between the people and make wise decisions when people ask him stuff like this. And to me, how I interpret that is, you can clearly, the discernment part that he had was offering to divide the baby. Obviously, if you divide the baby and cut it in half and gave half to each, the baby's gonna die. So, a true mother wouldn't want to have that kid sacrificed, like just so both people could be happy. So the true mother that's kid was actually alive was like, oh, you can give it to her, and please just don't kill the baby, because at the end of the day, she valued the baby's more life more than her pride or having the kid. Like she just wanted it to live. Versus the other lady was okay with killing the baby just for the sake of neither one of them having a baby, and it shows her heart. And I feel like for us, this like how this applies to me personally is that um there's been times in my life where I said I would have so much like anger or emotion towards other people that if like this is like the spirit of jealousy. I feel like in the story that's what it's highlighted. The woman, her son died, so she tried to take the other she tried to use deceit to get the other child, and because that baby was alive, and try to switch him out and confuse him, and to the point where she was okay, she was so jealous of this lady and the fact that she had lost her kid that she was willing to allow the baby to die so neither one of them could have kids. Because if you split a baby in half, they're human, they're gonna die. It was no separation like, oh, I'm making the two. No, it was dead. Like, and that's what his point was, to show that. And the fact that she was willing to let the baby die for her own pride and her own emotion was that strong that she would let another human being die. It just shows how strong that one, jealousy is not a emotion that God gives us. It's an emotion from the devil, and it's Satan. And that's why you can have such strong emotion to the point where you're okay with a child that hasn't innocent child being killed for your own morale, or for you to be like, oh well, at least she doesn't have a kid now too. That's an evil spirit. And if you even think like that and have the spirit of jealousy, you have to really ask God to remove that. Because I know for me, I definitely inherited the spirit of jealousy at a time, because due to certain circumstances, I was just like, dang, okay. And I was kind of feeling a type of way for a second. But then in that moment, as soon as that crept up, I realized I'm having a spirit of jealousy that God didn't give me. God, can you take this away? Because it's Satan trying to test me, like trying to get in my mind again. And you have to cast out those thoughts and get rid of that. Because at the end of the day, God doesn't give us that fear. He doesn't give us emotions of jealousy, fear, anxiety, any of that. That's all from Satan. That's from Satan to make you feel worse about yourself and to do stuff that you shouldn't do. And because think about it, what does anxiety cause you to do? It causes you to stress. It causes you to get overwhelmed with your situation and feel like there's no way out. And like I said, who can help you in that situation? God. God can come take all your burdens and throw them on his shoulder. There's nothing to him, because God is God Almighty. Yahweh is the Most High. Then think about stress. Why do you stress? Because you don't know the future. But if you really trust God with all your heart, he's going to make a way, as it is written in the Bible. For I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So he can do, if you really believe and wholeheartedly believe and put your faith in God, not in the world, he'll make a way. And that's where the faith part comes in. Like for me, with this pro contract, I don't know what everything holds, but do I know that I'm signing a contract? Yes, because I have faith in God and all the hard work I put in, because through him telling me, okay, let's wake up, let's do this, we got to do this. Wake up every day, we got to put in the work. Now I'm gonna make it. I have no doubt in my mind. And there's people that might be like, oh well, that's crazy to think. Like, how are you gonna go pro? God made a way. He always does. And I have no doubt in my mind. Soon I'm gonna be making that testimony video after that trip. So, like I said, it's just putting all your faith in God. You got to watch what you put your faith in. A lot of us put our faith in the world. Like, whether that's, oh, well, I believe that this is going to hold strong. Like your bed. You believe your bed's going to hold your body weight, right? Because of, how strong the bed is. Well, you need to put your faith in God, because God created everything. He created all of us. So how good and how powerful does that mean he is? So stop putting your faith in all these other objects. put your faith in God so that He can reward you and give you eternal life. Make the change today. Stay blessed, and I'll be back tomorrow. I hope this video helps you. Peace. And I gotta go change my context. Oh, if this video helps you, like and share it with someone that needs to hear it. Stay blessed. I love y'all.